Here's Downton Abbey, season 4, episode 3. I'm saddened by this episode. Once you think that Bates and Anna have had a good romance, where Bates is kind of being the good Samaritan and helping out poor Mosley because Matthew's dead and he lost his job because of it, and then this thing that happened in episode 3 where without giving too much away, because I don't want to give too much away, but bad stuff happens to Anna, and it's going to set off the rest of the episodes. But other than that, this is a party time in Downton Abbey. They're going to throw a weekend house party. Nothing like the weekend house party at Downton Abbey. I wish I could go to Downton and basically do the weekend house party thing. So basically, the theme of this episode is roles of changing. So whereas someone like Thomas is totally out of his depth, and this is kind of a repeated beat. I understand Downton, it's like they only do 9-10 episodes. Why do they repeat their emotional beats? We've already been down this road with Thomas. He's feeling out of his depth. He doesn't really want to live there, blah, blah, blah. Just get over it and move on, or come up with something else, because Thomas's character is more than just in a crossroads of what he wants to do with his life. But basically that is a theme of this episode, where you have, let's look at the guy like Alfred. So basically Alfred, who is a footman, is going to be born and raised to be a footman, wants to be a chef. So of course the attack happens with Mrs. Patmore, so Alfred's got to step in and do some cooking. Hey, wait a minute, Alfred's a pretty good cook. So that's one of the themes of what's going on in the 1920s in England, is that you kind of were born into certain roles like royalty or a servant, but now as things are changing, people have different opportunities. So it's real democracy, it's real capitalism, meaning that everybody, the American way, quote unquote, is that you're born and basically you can become the president of the United States, and that's sort of what the arc is. But in England, it's not that much the case, because it's very much like the United States now, like in 1925, where the rich are rich, the poor are poor, and there's really no divide in between. So, but now as we're seeing so much change happening, you're seeing a guy like Alfred, for example, who can actually be something else besides a footman, or someone like Mary, who can actually take a role as a leadership role in terms of commerce and business. And you see someone like Tom, who's always kind of stuck in the middle about what his ideals are. So that's sort of what's going on. But then you always have the mainstays. You always have Robert, who is the upstairs king, and you have Carson, who's the downstairs king, who just, of course, want things to remain the same as long as possible. But of course, this is the episode about Anna's quote-unquote misfortune, and Bates, Bates is Bates. That's my review.